this is... No, that's it. As soon as you go any faster, it doesn't point high enough. It must be... That must be it. This is just impossible, isn't it? You can see just here, my fuel tanker's just split along this seam. It just sprayed petrol all over my leg, so that's gonna need some fixing. It's running out. Broken down, my man.
How do you notice that?
Well, because it's like spraying all over me. It's like coming out quite a lot. I'm gonna have to tow it in and find a welder.
On December 26, 1978, 182 bikes and cars met in the heart of Paris with the aim of riding south through the Sahara Desert to Senegal. 4 years prior, a Frenchman called Thierry Sabine had gotten really lost in the Tenere Desert in modern-day Niger. He thought it was great fun, and others, well, they might want to ride into the desert and get lost too. And he was right. It turned into one of the biggest motorsport events on earth, the Dakar Rally. But every year, millions watch as some of the best riders and drivers on earth crossed vast distances through the desert on purpose-built desert-crushing machines. But back in '79, it wasn't the same thing. It was, for no better word, amateurish. Bikes built in sheds to carry riders that didn't know what to expect into a land that was not expecting them. And as the Dakar has changed and the stories of that first race fade into history, it got me thinking, just what was it like to ride rally stages in the desert on a 70s dirt bike, using a compass and a clipboard of notes to find your way through the deserts of North Africa? To recreate that very first Dakar was going to be a huge endeavor. We'd need road books, we'd need knowledge, we'd need to be in North Africa, and we would need bikes from 1979, and so that is what we did. This is a '79 Yamaha XT500 Sonauto Dakar replica. It's a faithful recreation of the original XT500 that won the first 4 Dakar rallies in dominating fashion. The XT500 would cement its place in the history books as one of the dominating bikes of the race for both privateer and sponsored racers. But this is no ordinary stock from the showroom XT500. It's a bike built with purpose in mind. Different geometry, suspension, custom-made super tanker-sized fuel tank, a taller seat, and more ground clearance. This thing is a work of art. But as much as I love it, and it is truly stunning, it's not the only true version of a Dakar bike. There were just a handful of bikes built like this, and to me the Dakar is a race that stands on the stories of its privateer racers. When you dig through the archive images, they kind of tell a different story. A story of bikes ridden from showroom floors and dragged from sheds. Bikes with saddlebags for fuel, or clearly not enough fuel. Vehicles that probably should never have been there, but they still got the job done. And that is where a lot of the Dakar spirit lives. And so our second bike is exactly that. A stock XT500 with slightly tweaked handlebars, a few miles on the clock, a rack on the back, a slightly bigger fuel tank, and some fresh rubber. A true privateer bike. And a true privateer bike needs someone to ride it who fits the privateer mold. Someone who is capable of doing the job, but is not an expert at the job. And that someone is my friend Isaac Johnston. Isaac knows XTs and he knows old bikes. He knows how to ride, but he did not grow up racing, riding rallies or enduros, and most certainly doesn't know what a road book does. He's great in the outdoors, but he's not spent his life in the desert. And so our adventure starts in the desert town of Ouarzazate, Morocco. We'd put together a plan to ride 3 full stages into the Sahara Desert. Stage 1 started in Ouarzazate and would see us crossing the mountains to Zagora.
You took, like when you put it on, to put like a zip tie around it, kind of loose as well. The plan for today is that we have our first stage to do. It's going to be about 8 hours, I think, with a little bit of filming in it. So it's going to be a pretty long day on 2 bikes we've never ridden. It's pretty exciting.
Nervous or?
Yeah, a little bit actually, because I haven't ever ridden bikes of this era. And we're navigating in a way that I've never navigated before. It's much, much simpler, which I think makes it much more difficult. With traditional navigation, you have a lot of information and it's very accurate because it's all digital. Whereas this is an analog system with a gear-driven speedo. And you can only adjust the speedo really by like in a really manual way. Just here, you have to be really precise. This is the road book, which is essentially a handwritten road book with some very basic notes. The idea is that you start the day at 0 kilometers on your trip meter and 0 kilometers on the road book. And then when you get to certain distances written in the road book, you follow the instruction. So I think it's going to present some pretty big problems, actually. I think we're going to do a little bit of riding in circles while we try and figure it out.
That's it, yeah. Packing her up for probably a reasonably long day. We've got Chief Logistics Officer Lucy in charge at the moment.
Bag packer.
Bag packing, pack mule. Yeah, she's actually applying for a job at Heathrow after this. That's it.
As we got ready for the stage, the nerves of what we'd set out in front of us started to set in.
Bit nervous, anxious about this morning. I don't know if those are maybe strong words. I think part of it is I don't really know what these bikes are going to feel like once we get out there. And I'm on like really low sleep because I think jet lag got me last night. I just woke up at the middle of the night and couldn't fall back asleep. So I think it's going to be an interesting day. I know once I get out there and the sun's out and I'm driving this vintage motorcycle across Morocco, I'm going to have like the best time ever. But right now it's like, I would have liked to have slept a little more and I would have liked to have more time to get my gear ready, you know, that kind of vibe. Just kind of pre-ride jitters maybe.
Cut it out.
Oh, that back brake needs adjusting. Wait a second. Technology doesn't always get better, does it? Right here. Nope, the back brake's locked up.
They don't make them like they used to. But now people are going to think like I talk like that.
I neglected to mention that while Isaac is a vintage bike guy, my experience with them is actually zero. I rode a 79 TM125 for an hour a decade ago.
First kick.
That was my first kick of an XT500 ever.
We've done 2.5K and the toolkit's out already. Vintage bikes.
So all bikes run on carburetors, and this one didn't like the air this morning or the fuel or something, so it was running really rich. So we've just leaned it out on the air screw. Well, rich in the air, I don't know what the way around is. We've given it more air. It should be better.
We're going to turn back the other way. I got to hang it out now.
Is there an idle screw out? Is there an idle
Yes.
on the other side?
Yes, but you can hear it's not that. It does drop.
There's some coffee drinking going on, but not too bad.
Decent coffee though.
Decent coffee, yeah. It's not very Dakar though, is it? Do you know, we're meant to moan about the dirt in the water and like not be at a really
not there yet,
bougie
right?
petrol station that's definitely 21st century.
We're in the honeymoon phase.
Yeah. So we're just about to set off and I've been fiddling with the speedo and I think we're going to run into, it's very inaccurate. When you push it back in to engage it, it's really easy to bump it, so you go off. So I've adjusted it back to the right distance, then I push it in and it moves by 0.1.
already. We're like 20 miles in. Turning into the grand adventure. Two idiots on a ride across Morocco. I was thinking, I thought we were supposed to fucking head east. We're heading due south right now. This is so sick. Oh my god. Yeah. Hey. Ciao. All right, stop fucking around. Start your bike. Let's go. Hey.
This is where we turn left across the river. There is a track here, so I'm gonna go that. I'm gonna try it.
After more than an hour of riding in circles and making new friends, we made sense of the chaos and finally got some tracks under our tires.
Yeah, we've just spent like an hour lost. There was one piece of information slightly wrong in the road book. And instead of kind of just ignoring the information and going exactly where the number said, I was like, no, but it says it's not tarmac. And it was tarmac. And then me and Isaac rode, probably like 15 miles in total in the wrong direction. Turned around twice, got really confused, and now we're here. We got back on. But yeah, it was a nightmare, and it's really, really difficult. Compared to modern road books, you have so much more information because the instruments are much more accurate. So when you make a mistake, it's much easier to get back in the right place. Whereas with this, it's nearly impossible. I feel like this is like one of those classic Dakar moments where you've got to the end of the stage and the guy's smashing his road book and he's like, it's all shit. But...
Whoa, he's catching air on that thing. Whoa, I did too, but it does not feel the same as yours. I felt like I was on a leather couch.
I haven't used the front brake since we got on this track.
Beautiful, smooth mountain passes and incredible views were making all of this seem like a dream. This rally stuff was easy. We stopped to get Isaac some fuel and I topped the super tanker up just in case he ran out. We even had some highly nutritious athlete Dakar food for lunch.
Those 3 bits of crackers for lunch were incredible. I'm gonna finish the bar I had.
The next mountain pass brought us right back down to our twin shock reality, and it was awesome.
Oh, holy shit. You braked and I wasn't ready for it. That was fucking scary, mate. I just ended up holding my breath during that shit. What's happened here, May?
As I was riding along, you were like, oh, my tank keeps making a noise. And I was like, mine is as well. You thought yours was fuel. And I was like, this has got way too much fuel in it for it to be fuel. And then I noticed it was starting to move a little bit. And then the more we rode, the more it moved. And then I just looked down under the seat here. and the bolt was like half out. It's time to put the bolt back in.
Same now.
I've made one fatal error. I've already dropped one bolt in the dirt and I can't find it.
But you brought a magnet, yeah?
No, well, I don't even own one at home. I mean, that's better. Both tanks are rock solid, we're done. Time to go. The light is fading. We've got a long way to go, I would say.
Yeah, we got like 3 miles in, didn't we?
Yeah, we got like, maybe 6. 6 miles in. And, yeah, 6 miles on our own and we needed help.
When I first kicked that cold XT500 8 hours prior, it rumbled into life first kick. But right here, my hamstring was on fire. My novice technique was killing me and my patience for starting this bike was beginning to wear thin. At least it was only 30 degrees and it only took 41 kicks to get going. It could be a lot worse.
Ooh. Ooh. Holy shit. It's a bit rough on the right side there. Big drain dip coming up. Drain dips are so hard on the rear end of this bike. Spicy. Fucking hit that baby head rock embedded in the middle there.
Fuck. I just washed the front looking at the road book. Oh. Oh. Yeah. Oh, that hurt. Right, I'll be with you in 2 secs. I twisted my knee a bit. I've just got to remember how to start it. Oh. No, we're good. It was just a silly, like, because it washes the front real easy in the... Oh, I'm going to have to clear it out, aren't I? No, just getting it going.
I was clearly not getting it going. I think I was hiding it pretty well, but this was killing me inside. I had no idea that the XT had a totally different starting technique when you'd crashed it to when it was hot or when it was cold or when the wind blew from the west. Unfortunately, I was smart enough to bring an XT500 expert with me on this, and he was able to do it before my hamstring left my leg and I set this bike on fire. As the sun crept towards the horizon and we made the end of our stage, Isaac and I had experienced an all-time day. It had been long. We'd sprinkled a little of every rally drama in, but despite the aches and the mild dehydration, our mood was super high.
Yeah, these bikes are really fun, but they are really shit. There's no getting away from it.
Like,
Oh shit.
that's a normal flex,
Is it?
I think.
Okay.
I'm not sure.
I'll have to check. There.
But to take the seat off is like a 10-minute job to do the tank up. So
Brilliant.
get it back on was like
Yeah, but bikes haven't got any better. They don't make them like they used to.
Like, the bike itself is super fun to ride.
Yeah.
It's just the limitations of like 1979 are quite big.
If I don't let my nose go in first, if I just like wheelie them like this, I case it. The skid plate hits the bottom, and then the whole bike jumps with both tires like this, right, like that. And so Leon keeps seeing me from behind. He's like, "Oh damn, you jumped on that one!" And I'll like hit the G out, and then I'll come up and I'm just like that, and then I land. It's all shitty, and I get control again, and then there's another G out.
I think the world has a natural law to help people keep egos in check. Just when you're feeling like a hero and regaling embellished stories of grandeur, this guy rolls through, on his way home. There is always a this guy everywhere I've ever been in the world, riding the same thing you've just ridden as his route to or from home. He hung out with us, we tried words in different languages at each other, and it was kind of nice. And then we went our separate ways, riding off into the night in completely different directions. As we left that mountaintop, the only challenge left for us was to race the setting sun to the tarmac. Otherwise, we'd be navigating by roadbook in the dark. Now, this was always a problem in North Africa, Dakar. The twilight is rapid and the night is very dark.
Here's Jean Brucey, and even he has got no strength left, says it's finished, says this car competitor.
Oh my god. It's like, yeah, I mean, I can probably ride at like 15 miles an hour and that's it. It's so hard to see. Lovely colour though. But this is so difficult. So there's a riverbed coming up. We need to cross it. Oh. Oh yeah, we've definitely taken the wrong track. Yeah, I think that's where we're going to, but we'll go back and take the correct track for sure. Trials, Isaac, yes! Woo! You can see how this is just impossible, isn't it? No, I don't know. Yeah, because there's no instruction here. I have no idea. Oh, I've gone back to fucking 1979 vision. Night ride. Night ride. That was night wild.
By making it to the road, we had 30 Ks of liaison left to finish the stage. Day one was history.
You can see just here, my fuel tank has just split along this seam. It just sprayed petrol all over my leg, so that's going to need some fixing. It's running out. Broken down, my man. It's hemorrhaging fuel.
I'd like to blame this on old bikes, but I think this is a handmade tank thing. They do that, which is why people use plastic tanks now. It's no slight on anyone that made it or the fact it's old. So I'm going to have to tow it in and find a welder.
And his fuel tank is just leaked out all over his leg, and it's cracked. So we had to drain this. We're putting as much as we can in my bike, the rest in the jerry cans, and he wants me to tow him back into town, which is going to be great. I think we got 20K to go. It's going to be great. And I genuinely mean that. I think this is great.
God, this is an operation, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
Jesus.
Just bring
Council
cameras and petrol.
Council job.
If someone looked at us right now.
Yeah, look how many cameras there are. Feed it.
She's spicy.
Kick every time.
I've had a few moments this evening where I've been like, please fucking start.
Yeah.
Just please do. Dakar biscuits. Moulin. Yeah. At this point, the tiredness was well and truly kicking in. We were 14 hours since the start of the stage and our decision-making power had floated away from our brains. Towing should be a straightforward thing, but we were chaos. We put the tow rope on the wrong side of the bikes to stop the rope pulling mine into gear, but then Isaac had to do this to change gear.
You can change down if you need to. Oh, so I was saying you can change down.
Oh, okay. We're here now.
Good job, dude. That was awesome. Yeah. Thanks for getting me home, man.
You tow like the best ever.
Apart from when I fucking blinked, I was like paying attention to the camera and I didn't see it go slack, and then like I think it went super tight, super aggressive.
Oh yeah, it was aggressive. I thought that was me though.
No, that was me. I was trying to make the camera work.
Yeah, it was quite scary. And then also like the first time we needed to stop, I realized we hadn't decided how we were going to tell each other to stop.
No.
So he'd been waving at me for like a minute or two.
Yeah, a good minute. Well,
Jesus.
done. Tomorrow morning's going to be another task.
So I've just taken the fuel tank off and there is a lot more cracks in the welds as well. So it's going to be a pretty big job. We've got to get some more fuel out now and then find someone to weld it.
A lot of the roadworks that we see, you'll see it blasted.
Hello, how are you? Good morning. Very good. Honest, man. It's empty.
It's a little bit of fuel. We ran out of places to put it.
Okay.
So this is Garage Segura. This is like Gasoline Alley in Segura. So all the good garages are here. And this is the best, huh?
Yeah.
This is the best one.
Welcome, Sahara Garage.
So yeah, we've been using this place for Patsy and the guys that come here back in the day, probably 20 years. Abdul, the big boss over there, last time he came here was wearing a Desert Rose t-shirt when I picked the truck up from like 2013. So yeah, we've been here a long time. So over the years, if we can't fix it, these guys can fix everything.
Welcome, I do for that.
And it's an aluminium tank, so it will need sort of TIG welding and filling. So we'll have to grind the groove and then cut it in. So yeah, so that's where we're at the moment.
The garage got to work on fixing the tank. After a thorough clean to prevent explosions, the tank ran away on a scooter to be welded. From then on, we entered the Dakar Rally's most sacred ritual. Hurry up and wait. We drank tea and we waited in Morocco's most charismatic garage. Now, I'd love to pretend I was chill with all this, but this bike is a stunning replica that was rented to make this film. I know the saying is, don't be gentle, it's a rental, but come on. 2 hours later, the tank rolled back in, and I died a little inside.
It looks toasty, but at least it's not got 4 holes in it now. So beggars can't be choosers, can they?
Burnt off. It looks awesome.
Yes.
This is the burnt, and it looks. Yeah. I mean, that probably would have come off a couple of miles on the track anyway, but it rattled off. Doesn't look like the paint's really sticking much anymore around that.
That's the little difference between like actual Dakar and what we're trying to do. Like, you care about this bike because it's an authentic, like vintage, beautiful recreation. Whereas for sure, if I was in the race, I wouldn't have even like taken the burnt off. I'd have been like, right, let's go.
Yeah.
That'll do. I need to go to bed.
Yeah.
And after a morning of stress and panic that this might not come together, we were back in the race. There's always a feeling when something goes wrong in a rally that this might just be it. The whole deal might be over. I always find myself ignoring that feeling, but deep down inside, it's there. It's eating away at you. Making it to the start point for our second stage felt incredible. It's a feeling like if you can overcome that, then there is nothing that can stop you.
3, 2, 1,
Go.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. I feel those. You're leading out on me, which is fine. I just wanted to let you know I'm slowing down a little bit because these baby head rocks that are fucking stuck in the thing. My front fork cannot handle them. It's got no dampening right now. It's fully bottoming when it just hits the rock. So I'm gonna go a little chill so I don't blow a front tire. Oh, that looks so sick. Yeah, this is so dope.
Now don't you ever be sad. Lean on me when the times are bad. When the day comes and you're down in the river trouble, and I've got to drown. Hold on, I'm coming.
There's got to be a right turn here somewhere. Yes. There we go.
The riding was flowing, easy and fast, and the XTs were handling it beautifully. They felt like the bike for the job. But the desert is a harsh place and a place that's taught me a lot of lessons. It's full of pitfalls, hidden holes, and hidden danger. One of those pitfalls is fesh. Fesh has been the destruction of hundreds of racers over the years. A soft, powdery dust 1,000 times worse than sand. It hides everything and gets everywhere. The ground, the sky, and if you're unlucky, it can feel bottomless.
Oh my God. Oh no, oh no. I can't see the edge of the trough, so I just keep fucking riding up the wall, eating shit. Oh my God. Okay, just a moment to get my feet on the pegs before I can't see again. It would be nice. I was just dragging my feet on the ground like a grandpa. Grand Pierre out here.
So have you come from over there?
Pardon?
Have you come through over there or right to the back of the video?
Just here.
Right, okay.
The base of it's soft, but the base of it's hard.
quite like
It's awesome.
really windy. That's
Yeah, but I couldn't see anything. It went from day to night. Oh, good time though. Some camels went by as we were coming through there. Camel herder. Unreal.
I've just ridden like a really famous section of old Dakar piste from to a place called Ramlia through the Fesh. It was awesome. It was so fun. Those are like, especially my bike, it feels unbelievably good actually in that sand and that silt. It's so long. It's super fun to ride, and Isaac's bike looks nearly unrideable. The different, like,
Still fun, just a different kind of fun. Like, oh shit.
yours is survival, and mine's like I can go pretty quick here.
I'm really surprised I haven't gone down yet.
We were like riding across all those sandy pistes, and I'm like just sat on the bike, ambling along, and Isaac, I look over, and he's like, ah! He's like, what?
Full sweats. There's no relaxing. Got some wine fuel. That was kind of cool. Wine bottles filled up as much as I think we'll make it to the camp tonight with just that much. But yeah, using this bike, basically when you start out in the dunes or in the Fesh, you're just wide open just to get it to go anywhere. So just use a lot of fuel. But Llewellyn's tank is like twice the size of mine, so he's totally fine.
You see, I've been through the desert on a horse with no name. It felt good to be out of the rain. In the desert, you can't remember your name, 'cause there ain't no one for to give you no pain.
Isaac's bike is so loose. Oh my god. The desert is so dangerous, man. I'm so glad these bikes are like slow.
Awesome day, man. What
So sick.
what a day.
So sick. And look at this place.
Who knew riding vintage bikes was fun? I didn't.
I did.
I thought it was going to be awful. It's great.
I thought this might be a little much, but it's actually not.
No, they're awesome.
Yeah.
Yes, I remember Dakar when they cross this piste here.
Long
Every year in January.
Yeah.
Yes. I remember when Dakar, when they cruise these pistes for the first time, it's just for to show to other people who come after. That is the benefit of Dakar. Yes.
So this is an iconic mallet. It's basically just means trunk in French. And throughout the history of Dakar, this has been like the lifeblood of every racer, really, up until they introduced kind of assistance across the whole paddock. Before that, every rider had to look after themselves like the Mallet Moto class does now. And this is the space that you've got for the whole event. You have to have pretty much all your spares, everything you need for your bike, especially in the old days, oil, camp, clothes, everything went in this box. And that was it. That was all you had, the entire space. Over years, that changed as like assistants came in, and KTM especially introduced a parts truck where you could buy parts on the rally, so you didn't need to carry everything. But before that, it was kind of, if it wasn't in here, you didn't have it, and you had to scrounge it from somewhere. So if people didn't have a lot of clothes, they probably stunk after 2 or 3 weeks. They mostly just carried like a sleeping bag and a roll mat and slept under the stars. So yeah, pretty cool. We've got everything that we wanted to bring to work on these 2 bikes. All the parts and all the stuff we needed is in here. I actually packed a spare pair of trousers just in case we ripped some. We've got a spare jersey, a spare pair of goggles, some tools, another pair of goggles, an inner tube that we had to cut up to fix something, a bunch of cleaners and solvents, another toolkit, a spare air filter oil. We got 3 tubes because we didn't really know how well that was going to go. We've got some spare oil, and we've got a paddock stand in the bottom, and a hammer, and a spare clutch cable, spare throttle cable, and everything else we've carried on the bike that we needed to work on them. We've got some duct tape as well, because if you can't duck it, fuck it.
Yeah.
God, I'm smelling fresh, boys. Just got a whiff of my own shirt. I'm so sorry.
Yeah, dude. The freaking merino jersey is the ticket.
Fortunately as well, on this, there really isn't much to come loose. Like, it's quite a simple bike, right?
Our final stage was here, The sand dunes of Dakar have always been the moments that really took their toll. They can be the most fun riding you'll ever do, and they can be the cruelest, most grueling thing on earth. Over the years, the riders and the bikes have reached a point where they make the dunes look like a motocross track, but that wasn't always the case. Before we even made it to the start of our special stage, however, we hit our first hurdle.
Oh, the rim locks. Fuck. Yeah. Yikes.
No way. So you put duct tape on the spoon.
So you've always got some duct tape.
You always got some duct tape.
Bit short on the old duct tape there.
That's why you keep duct tape. Hey.
Yeah, there's some things about these bikes that are lovely, but working on them is not one of them. So I've had a little bit of problems with this clipboard, but the pages keep coming out while I'm riding and then flapping off into the desert or tearing in half. So I've come up with this little bit of rubber to try and make this a little bit better today. I didn't spend a lot of money on them. I bought the £5 Amazon one. That was like the second cheapest one. But the clip is absolute garbage.
After a painfully slow tyre change, we made it into the sand dunes, and they were terrifying.
Like in modern rally navigation, we use a thing called cap heading. So like the compass heading, we have digital compasses and it's very accurate, and it's still really difficult to do through sand dunes. You always have to find a spot on the horizon and kind of work towards that spot because you can't ride a straight line through sand dunes. When you ride open terrain before the invention of digital compasses, you had to use a manual compass, which means you have to stop, find your bearing, and it's going to be difficult, I think. So I messed up. Well, not messed up, but I didn't have a compass, so I borrowed it off my girlfriend's dad. And he's ex-military and all his compasses are in mils, but this is in degrees. And the conversion rate is 17.7. So I think we need a compass heading of 284. And then it changes, so I have to change my page, to 221, and then 254. So we go left a bit more, right a bit. Yeah. 284. Times 17.72.
I don't know. That doesn't seem like the number we were supposed to get.
5,032. Yeah, I think that is right, dude.
Should we ride?
Can you hold my bike?
Yeah, of course.
We need to ride towards that big peak a bit.
The one in the middle.
The one in the middle, with the mountains on our right, and then turn left a bit. And then go left a bit more, and then go right a bit.
Oh God. The slip faces are so scary.
Picking through the camel grass and the small dunes made us both feel like heroes, but getting into the big dunes got humbling fast.
Oh God, it's so scary. Good Lord. Oh God. Woo, this bowl is deep.
I was getting hot and tired from dragging the bike around, and I still hadn't mastered the kicking. And then we entered sense of humor failure territory.
there's like levels to this, right? Where sometimes it's really enjoyable and you're loving this old bike and it's really great. And then you have to change a tire. And the enthusiasm level for this experience goes down quite significantly. Tire was a bit shredded on the first one. Rim locks were a bit shredded. Rim lock shredded the tube. Yeah, so we had to put a new tyre on because the tyre was just toast after riding it around the dunes flat. The carcass had just fallen apart. Yeah, again, like just basic mechanical stupidity, really. So, lessons learned. Lessons learned.
In my short years on this earth, my times riding rallies and Dakar, I've always found that even when you are over it, you are tired and grumpy, a single good moment on your bike can change it all. A single wheelie can change it all. We figured it out and it became a day I will never ever forget. With the sun setting on our trip, we left the final dunes behind us. As Isaac and I rode those final few kilometers, glancing across at each other, feeling incredibly cool, filled with nostalgia, we started reflecting on the whole idea. Just a few days earlier, we'd set out in clean kit to see if we could learn what those early Dakar riders went through. In some ways, that's impossible, and in some ways, I think we really did.
I think it's all so right. We don't need to fight. Stand face to face, and you present your case. Yes, I know. You keep telling me that you love it, and I really do want to believe. But did you think I'd just accept you in blind faith? Oh, sure, baby. Anything to please you, but you better be good to me. That's how it's gotta be now. 'Cause I don't have the time for your overloaded lies. And you better be good to me. Yeah, you better be good. Good to me. Be good to me.
Those early Dakars were an adventure in the purest sense of the word. And while we'll never capture that same lightning, we at least understand a little more why the Dakar became the race that it did.